Okay, let's try this again. All right, so I'm working on the 8530. Did have a few issues with it in the last couple of weeks that I used it. We did some disking with it, and we've been pulling wagon loads of hay. Now, I changed the filters in it, and that seemed to clear up some of the problem with it. And of course, when I pulled the new filters back out again yesterday, it took my check valves out, so I have to replace those back into the filter housing, which these things don't seem to be a serviceable item for some reason. But anyway, so I've ordered new filters, and I ordered a new drum of oil. The oil comes, I use Hi-Gard, John Deere Hi-Gard oil. That is what's recommended for this tractor. This is the used oil, which it really doesn't have that many hours on it, so I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to put it through other tractors like the 4010, the 5020, the 4960, and things like that, because really it only has about 250 hours on that oil. There's no foreign material in it. I just drained it out yesterday, and I'm about to drain out one more section of this transmission. There are 4 sections to this transmission. 4 sections to this tractor that hold the transmission oil. There are 4 different drain plugs. Now, this is the one that kind of is confusing in the IVT transmission anyway. This is the one at the front of the tractor, and I'm talking right underneath the front. The front differential is there, and you have. Is that the one? Yeah, and then you have this guy here, which is in the midsection of the tractor, and then you have this one up here, which is at the rear of the tractor. But then there's this stealthy one. This is the clean oil reservoir, and that one is on the left side of the tractor above this temperature sensor. I believe that's the temperature sensor there. And this is where the active seat drains back into the clean oil reservoir. So if you have an active seat like I have in this tractor, there is a hose or a pipe that goes down to that there, and there's no drain plug. It is actually a return line. So I have to get up in there and clean that out. Now, that clean oil reservoir holds 9 gallons of oil. All right, the last time I did this, I don't believe I changed that oil or drained that oil out of there. So there's 9 gallons in a 42-gallon system. Not really, you know, there's 30, that means there's 33 gallons of clean oil that went into it. But this time I'm going to do it. I'm going to clean it out. I'm going to pop that hose off of there, a pipe off of there, collect the 9 gallons, put it into that drum, and I'm going to mark that drum as used oil. And I will use that in the older tractors, or in like the 7410 and other tractors, because there's really nothing wrong with this oil. But I do want to see if I can correct the problem that I'm having with this tractor. What will happen is it will, when the oil's warm, it will shift. It's not shifting correctly. It will like. The engine will rev up like it normally does, but it won't shift smoothly, and then it'll slam, which is not good. So I called John Deere on it, and I asked them a couple of questions and about calibration and stuff. And that's the other thing. It will stop the tractor and then run a calibration process. It'll run its calibration process, and then it will work fine for a while, and then it will do the same thing over again. So there's definitely an issue. So I called John Deere, and John Deere's like, hey, listen, you know, you're probably right in what you're thinking, that you need to change the oil and change those filters, and don't forget to change the screen, or check the screen in the bottom of the transmission. Now, I didn't show any of this because it is very time consuming to do so, but if you see that great big pipe right there, that's where your screen is. And I pulled it apart yesterday and took the screen out. 0 anything on it, which is a plus, because you start getting metal shavings and things like that in there, that means something is going wrong in your transmission, and you're going to have problems. So, anyways, let me get on to what I'm doing, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to take you underneath this tractor now. I'm taking off my hat, so just deal with my chrome dome here. Oh, what a pain in the ass. So, realities. This is what that picture showed. Oh, come on, tractor. I got my dog bone here. He ain't working quite right. Right here, this pipe that comes down, that's what I have to take off to get the oil out of that 9-gallon clean oil reservoir. Now, I've blown it off as best I can, and it's going to make a mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack that line. I'm going to take that bucket there, and I'm going to fill the bucket as full as I can, because it is 9 gallons. It's going to take 2 of those buckets to get the remainder of this oil out of here. And then I'm going to put that into the 55-gallon drum. What I'm going to do with this oil is, because it only has about 250 hours on it, and that really doesn't make me too thrilled that I have to throw away, $800 worth of oil. $800 worth of oil on 250 hours. So like I said, I'm going to use it in other tractors. But what I'm going to do first is I have a fuel filter filtration system, and I'm going to buy some filters, and I'm going to filter it to 5 micron and put it into the other drum, and hopefully that will be more than clean enough to cycle it through other tractors. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I won't put it into these IVT transmissions, but the older Synchro Mesh or the Power Quad and the Auto, what do they call it, Auto Quad or Synchro Mesh transmissions, it'll be fine in that. It'll be fine in these IVTs also, but it's like no sense contaminating clean oil with older oil. So a lot of guys won't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway, because you know what, the 7410, that can handle that stuff pretty easily. I just change filters a little more often, and they're 10 micron filters, so if I put it down to a 5 micron through a 5 micron filter, then it'll be cleaner than it needs to be to go through the tractor's filtration system anyway. So I'm going to stop yammering, and I'm going to go ahead and pop that top off there. It's a 15/16 inch nut or flange nut there. I'll pull that off, and then I'll put it in that bucket. And you're going to miss it because I don't have my tripod for some. Okay, so this is going to take a while to fill this 5-gallon pail. I have another 5-gallon pail over there. I'm going to go get that, and I should be able to swap it out without making any mess. I should be able to swap it out without making a mess, and that'll do the job that I need to do. I'm going to have to I think I'm going to dump this oil because of the dirt. This oil is going to get dumped. I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to keep this one. Anyway, let me get that other. Okay, so I got to go back to the book. It said there was 9 gallons in that reservoir, clean oil reservoir, and I pulled out maybe 9/10 of a gallon, which could very well be a misprint in the book, but I don't know. I just pulled that out of there, and it doesn't seem quite right to me. It says 9 gallons. But it's set overnight too, so it may have drained out into another area of the transmission, which I may have to pull the lower plug out of, because these things have to fill up. And I did run the oil out, some of the oil out through the selective control valve, so that could have sucked that out of there. More than likely that's what has happened. So I'm going to pull one of these other drains and see what I can find in there. I doubt that it's in there. I think it probably came out when I used the selective control valve to drain the oil, because it is a clean oil reservoir, so it probably did suck out of there. So anyway, with that being said, I guess that's that. Let me get on to bigger and better things. I don't see any crud in there, do you? Nope. A little bit. Go. Okay, no, that was all that was in there. Just that tiny little bit. Good. Okay, so we're having a little bit of a learning experience, right, Tim?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? Like you don't understand what I'm saying? It's learning experiences, right?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Cool. We learning anything?
Maybe.
I don't know. I can tell you one thing though. That thing does not want to do what I want it to do when I want it to do it. So I'm going to have to get a ratchet. Get me a ratchet. 1/2-inch drive. Get a smaller one for me. Might work. Yeah. Okay. So what we have discovered is that there's more than one screen on this transmission. And it's, oh my God, that's tight. Why is that so tight? You'd think it would come right the hell off, no?
Here, you want the ratchet?
Yeah. Now give me the ratchet. I don't see any dirt or anything in that. And, oh my God. Ugh. Almost like somebody cross-threaded the fucking thing. Ugh. What the hell? That shouldn't come off of there so tight, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, go. We're loosening it up now. There's a opening there. Alright, go ahead and slide that under. I'll see if I can get my grubby hands under here. Maybe not, huh? Oh, Jesus. Fine. Ready? There shouldn't be much of anything in here. If anything in here. Oh, okay. I found some stuff. Go ahead, pull it out. What is this?
That looks like some broken shit.
Yes, it does.
It's like a bearing?
That's a bad thing. I don't know. I could tell you one thing now. I ain't liking the looks of it. That is for sure. All right, slide that under. Let's see what we got in there. That's never a good thing. Okay. Oh. Okay. So these are the things that you fear. There. Oh. Wow. Alright, so what is this stuff? It looks like a shim.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's not good. That could be part of our problem. It's a clutch disc.
Is it?
Yeah. Huh. It's weird that nothing else anywhere in the transmission has had anything. You know what that is? Okay, so there's bits of metal, but that's silicone. That's silicone. Sealant. I believe. There's paper. That's a weird thing. It's not clutch material. It's not clutch material. Now these shavings of metal, that's kind of concerning. Big time. Well, it looks like a shim.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so there's a shim that came apart somewhere. Great. That's never any good. Where's the starting fluid I had here? I had it on the floor there.
Didn't you and Joe clean up the floor?
No, I had it today on the floor here. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's definitely a weird one. It's never good when you find stuff like that in a transmission. Never. Now I gotta go. Let's say we blow that out with some air. Get the air hose on this. Stick a magnet up in there. something like that. You can do that. Yeah,